Hello, I'm Monai, and first of all, I would like to take the opportunity to share my experience with Jaguar during my pregnancy and after birth, and the work we did together helped both moments very much, and I'm very thankful, and I am very happy to share a bit of how everything happened. I was 7 months pregnant when I contact Jaguar, and my pregnancy was very difficult. I didn't have any health problem, but it was very uncomfortable overall. I was vomiting the whole time until birth almost, and I was with my partner for not too long when I got pregnant, so the whole expecting a child was moving the deepest layers of myself, and it was very difficult to cope with that, especially on a rational level, and to prepare myself for what was about to come. So I had a very difficult time, and when I looked for Jaguar, I think I was first of all looking for ways of focusing on the baby, on the pregnancy, on myself, on the birth, and also I think the work with her had a second important aspect of counseling in my relationship, which was unexpected but ended up being very helpful and very precise, how she managed to conduct me and my partner on what really mattered at that moment. And I think there was a lot of what was going on that was difficult to process on a rational level and with words, and she did an amazing job on bringing this communication to a whole other sphere of much more subtle and deep connections than what I could explain with words also now. But yeah, it all began on a wider scope, talking about my family history, and also in what concerns the feminine aspect of it, the women, the mothers of my family. And we were gradually concentrating on me and my relation to the baby, and finally on the birth. And in that stage, also sometimes on a very practical level that has been helpful afterwards during the birth. But if I just close my eyes and think about this whole time, I just remember clearly laying down and letting her conduct the energies that were circulating so strongly all over me, and just bringing a certain harmony to that was hard to do by myself. And I could say I'm a woman who has devoted myself since I'm a little child to feminine questions, but being pregnant really showed me how I didn't know as much, or I wasn't as what I want to say is that during pregnancy you have the ultimate test of how you can remain strong in situations that are really out of your control, and how the way society controls our lives is also much more difficult to handle when you're pregnant, because you have a total instability. You are facing the biggest transformation that you're gonna have in life. You have a huge responsibility, so it was easier to be somehow rebellious or in a margin of society by choice, not being pregnant. But being pregnant, I really felt the power of medicine, the power of the authority of our society taking myself. It was hard to to replace myself in this new context, and Jaguar helped a lot with that, also through this spiritual work that was not so mental and so theory oriented, but really to the core of it. So all this frustration of not being able to fight certain aspects of me with my child and society, they were resolved in this much more underlying and significant sense. I mean, they were not fully resolved, but they were rearranged, and the resolution of it's happening still, and I think it will happen. But it was definitely, I think her work is very focused on birth in a wider sense. Like, I think, as far as I know, a person that is not pregnant or is not going to be pregnant can still work with her own birth through the process that she leads, because the birth holds such a transformative energy that you can use that for many different means and goals, and also in a very stretched time frame. And I can state that it was like that to me. She really helped me conduct. Also my partner, who wisely took advantage of this, participating in this situation to his own means and taking this energy of birth for life and for turning the order of things around and moving it forward and for his own good, but also the good of others and our family and so on. And the same I could say for myself. I also would like to share that, let me think, I had something to say, which was, yeah, and the birth was great. Even I couldn't imagine it would be so great, because I thought the whole pregnancy was so difficult that even that she had helped me so much to change this perception of things and the order of things. I didn't have much expectations that the birth wouldn't be super difficult, and actually it was amazing, and I really think it is as part of the process we had together. I don't know if not encountering January and not going through, because finally it was almost 3 months of regular seeing her individually with my partner in women's group, in soon-to-be parents groups, and all these different parts of the work, they really prepared me for having such an amazing birth as we did, and also to allow Lila, my daughter, to participate, because I think one of the reasons the birth was so amazing is that both my partner and Lila were participating in all levels. It wasn't me pushing out a baby. It was really the three of us doing something together that couldn't be done if not together, you know? And this integration of the three of us in different ways was facilitated by Jaguar in a lot of senses. And of course, it's a work together, and we weren't in a passive situation in which she's doing things and we are there, but she's mediating a work that I couldn't find the strength to do, or even the clarity to do by myself at this time. And also not with my partner. Again, the counseling was very helpful to deal with what mattered at the time. And then, yeah, birth was amazing. It was a beautiful experience with a shorter period of very unpleasant pain, but overall it wasn't just that. And the first months of Lila being born were also beautiful, and that's like the last part of the work me and Jagger have done together so far. We had a couple of sessions after birth, and they were also really helpful to integrate all this process that began even before pregnancy into a new reality, after birth reality. And now my daughter is 13 months, so it's a bit more than a year that she was born and that this transition happened. And it's clear that the repercussion and the reverberation of this work is still there, and it's always going to be, I think. And that's why I repeat what I said at the beginning. I'm very thankful, and this morning before I came I had a short talk with my partner in which we have it very clear how helpful, and how I don't know how we would have done without it. So I would like to conclude this statement by reinforcing the importance, especially in this moment of a woman being pregnant. I think it does apply to many other things, or maybe to everything, but I think the woman being pregnant in our society is really not perceived as it should. There's both a lot of support that it's claimed to be given, which is not, and a lot of potential that is not it's not used, because the whole frame is just not embracing that. And I think the work Shadwa does is exploring a lot of this very important and very beautiful and very fundamental aspect of life, and of what femininity has to offer to the world that it has been undermined and underused. So I can only support her work for everybody, for every woman, for every pregnant woman, for all the babies in the pregnant women's belly, but also in general for women in their need to emancipate and to put their strength out there and use it for the benefit of all.